The story begins with a girl named Piyuk whose first day in jail has just started. Piyuk spent her childhood among criminals and drug sellers. Her mother used to sell drugs to run the house. Because of that, teachers used to insult her in front of the whole class. Soon, the police caught her mother red-handed. After that, the court gave her a sentence of 24 years. Since then, Piyuk had been living like an orphan. One day, she went to a nearby shop to buy something. A man standing there started saying bad things about her mother. He even said that her mother used to take drugs too. Piyuk got very angry. Her friend Parn asked her to leave the place. But when that man misbehaved with Parn and asked her to become his guardian, Piyuk couldn't control herself. Without thinking, she shot him. After that, the police took Piyuk to the questioning room where an officer hit her a lot. Since Piyuk was under 18, she was not given a strict punishment. Instead, she was sent to a reform center to fix her behavior. You might think life there would be easy, but sadly it was not. That place was just like a real jail. The only difference was that it had younger girls instead of adult prisoners. Even there, strong girls used to bully the weak ones and no one cared about kindness. Another girl named Fluke was also brought there with Piyuk. She was caught selling drugs. As soon as she arrived, the warden asked her some questions. But when he did not see fear in Piyuk's eyes, he decided to punish her. The warden shouted and said, "I don't care where you came from. If you look at me like this again, I will make your life hard." Then he took her to the changing room and told a prisoner named Bear to deal with her. Bear proudly said, "Sir, don't worry. By the time we leave this room, she will beg at our feet." When the warden left, Bear told Piyuk to take off her clothes. Then he laughed at her and cut her hair. But this was just the start. What was coming next felt like a nightmare. And now she had to live this nightmare every day. There was very little space in this jail for the prisoners. So all of them were kept together like sheep in one room. As night came, Bear signaled one of his friends. Suddenly, all prisoners stood up. One of the girls came to Fluke and said, "Get up. The boss needs you." She told Piyuk to come too, but Piyuk refused. Then they forced Fluke and brought her in front of Bear. Poor Fluke kept asking everyone for mercy. But no one helped her. Bear said, "Don't be scared. Today is your first day. Slowly you will get used to it." He gave her two choices. The first was a bad condition and said, "If you agree, you will become mine. If not, then you will have to obey every person here." Fluke got very scared. And finally she gave up. Meanwhile, everyone started hitting Piyuk. They beat him so badly that he could barely get up the next morning. Somehow he reached the canteen. Everyone was looking at him. This jail was divided into parts. And each part had its own leader. In block number 10, one person said, "Boss, this is the boy I told you about." One person said, "He is from your town. We can add him to our group." When Piyuk reached the food counter, the cook said that the food was finished. He told him to come back tomorrow. Piyuk was ready to eat even the burned leftover food. As soon as the cook tried to throw that leftover into the trash, Piyuk quickly held his hand. He asked, "Why are you treating me like this?" The cook replied, "If you keep interfering in everything, you will have to pay for it." Then Bear stood up and came to Piyuk. He dropped Piyuk's food on the floor. A man from block 10 thought that now Piyuk would definitely fight. But Piyuk didn't say anything. He quietly picked the food from the ground and started eating. Everyone thought this boy had lost his mind. But Gus said he did the right thing. If I were in his place, I would have done the same. Because if he didn't eat, he would have starved. After that, all the prisoners were taken for a shower. Piyuk was quietly taking a bath. Then Bear and his people surrounded him. Bear said, "Do you think you can use everything here for free and we will just watch? Here, everything has a cost." He told Piyuk to sit on his lap. But when Piyuk refused, they forced him. According to their rule, Piyuk had to take 5 kicks. Bear gave the first kick. Then he told Fluke to kick him too. When Fluke refused, they threatened her that if she didn't do it, she would be punished the same way as Piyuk. In the end, Fluke had to agree. But she didn't want to hurt Piyuk. So she kicked him very softly. Now only 2 kicks were left. Bear didn't want Piyuk to be saved. He ordered his men to beat him badly. Piyuk understood that he would be badly hurt this time. So he tried to protect himself. Seeing his courage, Bear got even more angry. He and his friends beat him without mercy. Piyuk fainted for a while. They all left him in that condition. After that, an old memory is shown. In it, young Piyuk is seen boxing to earn money. When he came back home after getting hurt, his mother asked why he needed to do all this. Piyuk said, "You sell drugs. That's why people make fun of me." He said he didn't want to grow up using drug money. After this, the story comes back to the present. The warden picked Piyuk up and said, "I want you out of here in 5 minutes. If I have to come again, I will make your condition even worse than this." Fluke was waiting for him nearby. He came to Piyuk and said sorry. For the first time they learned each other's names. Fluke gave him an orange to eat. On the other side, the warden told Bear that he was making trouble. When Bear found out that Fluke went inside to give Piyuk an orange, he got very angry. The warden said, "Until my cigarette finishes, do whatever you want. After that, I'll sound the alarm." As soon as the warden left, Bear started beating Fluke. The others stood behind and kept watching. But no one came to save him. When Piyuk saw Fluke getting beaten, he jumped in the middle and said, "If you're a man, then fight me." Piyuk kicked one man so hard that he fainted. Before things got worse, Golf came in between and stopped everything. He wanted to add both of them to his team. But Bear said it wasn't that easy. He said they both were his targets. After a while, Gus came and stood in front of Bear. After a lot of arguing, Bear decided to let one of them go. Golf chose Piyuk. Now Piyuk had become part of Golf's group. Harming him meant fighting the whole group. That night, when everyone was sleeping, Gus saw that Piyuk was still awake. Piyuk asked, "Why did you save me? Why did you leave my friend with those animals?" Gus said, "You're not like him. That boy is not stubborn. He listens to whatever people say. Somehow he'll survive. But you wouldn't be able to stay with those people even for a week." Piyuk thanked him for saving his life. Golf gave him a wooden knife and said, "I made this with my own hands. If you ever need it, use it." That night, Piyuk slept peacefully. But for Fluke, the night was very painful. Because he helped Piyuk, Bear and his friends beat him all night. This made him very sick. The next morning, when all prisoners were being taken outside, Golf saw that Piyuk was still sleeping. Everyone tried to wake him up, but he didn't move. For a moment they thought he might be dead. But suddenly he woke up and held a knife to Golf's neck. When Piyuk came to his senses, he remembered that he was no longer among those animals. After that, we see that Piyuk's life slowly starts to get better. He began to live happily with these people. Sometimes Gus would give him his food. Because of eating well, he started recovering quickly. On the other side, we see Fluke, whose fate was not as good as Piyuk's. Bear and his gang kept bothering him mentally every day. It seemed like he would give up at any moment. A few days later, Pear came to meet Piyuk. Seeing her, Piyuk gave a small smile. But he didn't know that this happiness would not last long. Pear told him that his mother had died. She took her last breath in the jail. Hearing this, Piyuk's eyes filled with tears. He couldn't stop himself and started crying. Pear said she came only to give this message. She also said that the funeral was done. And now she would not come to meet him again. Piyuk said, "I have no one in this world except you. Please don't leave me." There were tears in his eyes. But still she didn't look back and quietly left. Then we see Gus talking to his father. He said, "I have arranged a school and a job for you. You can live a normal life after you leave this place." Gus had spent over 10 years in jail. He wanted to start a new life with his father. But as soon as he found out that his father was still living with his stepmother, he got angry. He didn't say anything and quietly walked away. Piyuk was trying to forget his pain. Then he saw that Pear was trying to kill Golf. He quickly jumped in to save him. Then the warden arrived and told everyone to lie down. Now Pear's actions had crossed the limit. That's why the tension between the two groups kept growing. Gus said, "If you don't stop, I'll have to do something." But Pear wanted that. He wanted both groups to fight and prove who was stronger. That night, when everyone was sleeping, Pear came to Fluke with his friends. He looked into his eyes and said, "I don't need him anymore. Do whatever you want with him." Fluke had reached his limit. He tried to fight. But that made the others even more angry. Then they all abused him again and again. Humanity was dead. Fluke kept screaming. He kept calling for the warden. But no one came to help. He was lying on the stairs like a dead body. Then he heard Pear and his friends talking. They were grinding a blade into powder. They planned to mix it into Fluke's food the next day. The next day he and the cook made a plan. Now all they had to do was wait. Everyone in Gus's group ate together. So it wasn't sure if Fluke would get the poisoned food. Pear said, "It doesn't matter. Someone has to die today." Finally, when the plate came to Fluke's side, Piyuk grabbed the plate and ate it. The blade went from his throat to his stomach. He started crying in pain. Piyuk tried to save him. But Gus said, "If you try anything, the pain will increase. We can't save him." His death made the hatred between the two groups even worse. In the end, Gus decided that now there would be a fight. The next day, when the warden and guards were busy, everyone took out their weapons and attacked each other. Gus attacked Bear, but it didn't hurt him because he was wearing something to protect himself. Then Bear stabbed Gus again and again. When the guards heard his scream, they rang the bell and stopped the fight. The warden beat everyone with sticks, but nobody could say who started the fight. So everyone was sent back to their own areas. Piyuk saw that Gus was sleeping with a blanket even though it was hot. When he touched Gus's forehead, he found out that Gus had a high fever. He screamed after seeing his wound. Something was stuck inside his stomach. Golf tried to pull it out, but the pain was too much. Piyuk kept shouting for help, but everyone ignored him on purpose. Gus knew that he didn't have much time left. He looked at Piyuk and said, "These people are just like us. They have no home or family." Before dying, Gus told Piyuk, "After me, everything is your responsibility. Take care of them." That night, Gus took his last breath. After his death, silence spread everywhere. When Gus's father found out that his son was dead, he was heartbroken. He had waited 10 years for him to come out. And now, with only a few days left, these monsters killed his son. To take revenge, the others went to kill Bear, but they were caught at the last moment. If Bear wanted, he could have killed Piyuk then. But he gave him a chance and said, "If you want to kill me, then fight me. Will you fight?" Bear was sure that Piyuk would be scared. But Piyuk looked him in the eyes and accepted the challenge. Golf said the fight would happen the next day. And he added, "If Piyuk loses, then you can kill me too." In the evening, Piyuk was preparing for the fight. While sharpening his knife, he said to Golf, "I heard that before people die, they remember their mother. I think I will die tomorrow because I miss my mom a lot." Golf told him not to think too much. "Let's see what happens tomorrow. Anyway, one day we all have to die." The next day, everyone gathered in the bathroom to watch the fight. Golf told Bear to take off his clothes because he thought Bear might cheat. Bear angrily asked, "Who told you this? Did Gus's spirit come to you in your dreams?" As soon as Bear got the knife, he jumped on Piyuk. He was sure he would kill him. Piyuk was getting more and more scared. After the first cut, he became weaker. He wanted to back off many times because he was not as skilled as Bear in this game of killing. His fear was clearly visible in his every move. But then he remembered the days when he used to box. He recalled that before every punch, his brain worked, not his hands. When he got the chance, he hit Bear on the leg. Bear fell down and Piyuk didn't stop. He stabbed Bear many times in the stomach. Bear's friend came forward to help, but Golf pushed him back. In the end, Piyuk strangled Bear and took his last breath. After a while, the guards arrived and sent everyone back to their cells. The warden hit all three with a stick and said, "When you people living like drain worms don't care about your life, then why should we care?" Then he locked them in the cell. Golf told Piyuk not to think too much. He said, "We did not do anything wrong. His death has made life here easier." The next morning, when Golf woke up, he saw that Piyuk had spent the whole night staring outside. After some time, the warden came. But this time his behavior was different. He brought good food for both of them. He said, "If you want to eat this kind of food every day, then you will have to leave this place. As long as you stay here, your life will never improve." The warden took them both outside and told them that they were being transferred to another prison. A place where life is 1,000 times better than here. Golf and Piyuk thanked the warden for his kindness. When they were about to get into the car, they looked at each other one last time and said goodbye. Piyuk had learned many things about life by staying here. But now he had to serve his punishment alone. The warden gave him hope that the next jail would be better. But only time would tell what the real truth is. If you liked the story, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Thank you. See you in the next video.